All right, welcome everybody. We are here in the Writer's Circle free session. We do this once in a while to invite everybody in and give them a taste of what the Brave Healer Writer's Circle is all about. And I've been just looking in the chat about where you all are in the world, and you're like all over the world, and it makes me very, very excited. The Brave Healer community is growing, and I pinch myself every morning and I get to be with all of you and just write with you and share brave words together. If you haven't met me before, I'm Laura DeFranco. I'm the CEO of Brave Healer Productions and Brave Kids Books. And we are an award-winning publisher for holistic health and wellness professionals. We do a lot at Brave Healer Productions. The mission is really to support the business behind the author in addition to the extraordinary lives of our readers. But I have a really big mission to support you, your writing, the business behind your books, all the good stuff. So the Writer's Circle is a big team effort, and Erica Putnam is here. She is the director of the Writer's Circle. So Erica, would you just introduce yourself for a moment?
Sure. My name is Erica Putnam. I live in Whitefish, Montana. I'm a holistic chiropractor. I'm also a yoga teacher. And you can see by the horns behind me, I'm a hunter. So we have been working on this Writer's Circle for about a year now, and it's been really exciting for me just to watch just how things develop, how writers come along and we start learning together and sharing together. And it's really been a group of people that I enjoy and I look forward to seeing. So I'm really happy that Laura let us work on this together. So that's me. That's what I'm about.
And Erica, tell them a little bit about your writing.
My writing has evolved, actually. I started writing maybe about 10 years ago, and I've been working on a memoir. And in a memoir, you're the character and you're the ending. So I keep thinking that there's going to be a great ending, which I just had recently. I like to write about health a lot. I write about health. I write about yoga. I wrote in the chat, I'm working on an article for a hunting magazine about yoga. So I like to bring things together. And I would not say I'm a fiction writer, but when I write fiction, it gives me a lot of permission. So I try and let this group be about exploring and trying different things. And that's how I write as well.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you so much. I'm so grateful to you for directing the Writer's Circle and just for the energy that you put into this, your passion for writing. I think you are an amazing writer. I love the way that you write from your body and help me feel. And it's one of my favorite things about your writing.
Appreciate that, Laura. Thanks.
So I'm also wanting to introduce Lisa Karasek to all of you. She is the Brave Healer Productions community manager. You've probably seen her in the Monday Morning Breakthroughs events and some of the other live Zooms that we do. And she helps me really help you engage, understand what is up in our world. And she's also co-facilitator here in the Writer's Circle. So Lisa, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Me here in the red. So I live here in Utah. I've only been here about 2 years. I'm from the East Coast. I did live close to Laura, so I did get to meet Laura and hang out with her a bunch when I lived there, and that was fun. But I do quantum healing. I teach tension and trauma releasing exercises, and I'm a certified eating psychology coach.
You don't seem to be hang on, Lisa.
Yeah.
There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah. Where was I? So I do
trauma and tension releasing exercises and coach.
And certified eating psychology coach. So basically what I do is I help people step into their authentic selves. So by releasing past traumas, getting back into the healthy nervous system, releasing limiting beliefs and adopted beliefs about what our body and mind and spirit is supposed to be like, what others' opinions are of us, and stepping into our own. And then I add the healing. So yeah.
And Lisa, which Brave Healer titles have you been in?
I have been in the Ultimate Self Guide, 25 Tools and Techniques. I'm in volumes 1 and 3. And Find Your Voice, Save Your Life under lead author Diana Leader, and Sacred Death with Hamal Bora. And I'm getting ready to be in the 100 Poems and Possibilities.
Yay, 100 Poems and Possibilities for Healing. And that's The Ultimate Guide to Self-Healing is the first book she was in. There are 5 volumes of that book. Erica was also in one of the volumes. Which one were you in? Were you in the first one? 2. She was in volume 2. So you guys can read their beautiful chapters in those collaborative books, which is our specialty around here. So thank you both. Lisa, also just want to tell you how grateful I am that you came into my world and all of the things that we're cooking up and the collaborations and your beautiful energy that you bring to events like this, and your ability to just help me bring people together. So thank you very much. And once in a while, we do this free event. We want you guys to have a taste of what we're up to here in the Writer's Circle. And we do, of course, hope you'll join the circle. It's $45 a quarter. That's 3 months that you can come in, usually up to 4 or 5 sessions a month. But August, you guys, we have 7 sessions in August. You'll get your money's worth, even if you stay for a quarter for the $45, right? And why are we doing 7 in August? Because I am adding a business writing event, and Erica is adding a special feedback event. Feedback and, why am I blanking on the other word, Erica? Feedback and something. Editing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So those are going to be really cool additions, and we love to add free workshops to the Writer's Circle. You're never going to get your money's worth more than in our Writer's Circle, y'all. So Lisa's going to have links to all the things. She'll drop them in the chat, but remember what I said about the replay. I'm going to put it in the Right Habit group, and I'm going to put it on YouTube, and all of our links and everything, so you can check everything out, are going to be there when you want to check them out later as well. Today, we're here to have fun. We're here to inspire your writing, and we're here to come together to write in community. There is nothing better to me, and I'm so grateful to all of you from all over the world today who came to join us. I can see all of your beautiful goals for your writing in the chat, and later on, you guys will have to remember to save the chat. If anybody is feeling like networking, then put your contact information in the chat today and just reach out to each other. Form those writing groups, right? Do it today. So that's an open invitation. If you'd like to put contact information into the chat while we're going here, go for it. Put your website link, put whatever you feel like, and we can come check each other out. But don't forget later, Lisa, help me remember to remind them to save the chat at the end, okay? So I woke up this morning. I knew obviously that this was happening, and I was getting ready for it. And my words come in waves, especially my poetry. You heard Lisa say that we're going to be doing a beautiful brand new poetry collaboration, first one ever for Brave Healer, which was like, what? How could this be the first poetry collaboration with all of my poetry history? But it's going to be called 100 Poems and Possibilities for Healing. Guy is going to be in that book. Lisa's in that book. Am I forgetting anyone else here who's in the poetry book? Thank you, Heidi. Heidi will be in the poetry book. And we have 32 authors from around the world, poet authors, who are going to be dropping their story about poetry and their beautiful poems. It's not going to launch until January, you guys. So it's just a project in the works that I'm excited about. But this morning, something came through, maybe for you. It's called Maybe Even the World. Sometimes I want someone to ask me how I did it, because even I'm not sure how I survived, and I need a chance to find the answers. Sometimes I want to shout out the pain from the rooftops, and I want you to hear my crazy naked ass, because I can't feel alone anymore. Sometimes, some days, sitting in the dark alley of my mind makes me wonder how anyone survives. And I think, I'm lucky. This could have been worse. Gratitude always softens the course, but comparing my pain to yours only works for a moment. I know it's what I'm making things mean that makes it seem one way or another. And that for you, it is what it is. Same for me too. I need to tell you my story, not because I need you to fix it, but because I must release it from my heart. I need a witness. And not because I expect you to understand, but because you're a safe, sacred space for my soul to land. Your listening ears and calm bring me down a notch. Many times I feel desperate, so I remember to write to myself. How did you make it, you badass? Something answers. I don't know. And then, thank goddess, something else grabs the microphone. You stayed awake. You breathed. You didn't make any of the pain mean anything. You gave yourself permission to feel. You moved out of your head and into your core and anchored yourself there. You reached out for help. You wrote it all down. You screamed, cried, laughed, and walked it out when you felt like you'd drown. You, my warrior friend, made it. You did it. And now it's okay to rest. This wasn't a test. We tasked you with this. We knew it was you and you alone who'd take the lesson and run with it. Tell your story and change a life. Maybe even the world. So world, this time, I won't wait for you to ask. I'm inviting myself to this storytelling party. And even if I'm the only one who hears it, I'll remember that matters. So that all came out this morning for y'all. And that's unedited. That is me. That is what happens to me. Those spoken word poems come straight from somewhere crazy, connected, right? And that is the foundation of the writer's circle, is to connect to that place where words can move through you. Once upon a time, I was asked to write a writer's mission statement. Thank you, guys. And that's what we're going to start with today. So I want you to just take a breath with me, arrive here in your body, clear your mind, bring yourself here with your feet on the ground. Feel your core. Feel the space around your heart. Take a few deep breaths. Notice what's there for you to feel, and bring in why you write. Bring it in. Why do you do this crazy thing of writing? Right? Allowing yourself to connect to your body. And then whenever you're ready, I want you to write a sentence or so about this. I write because, or I write to. Okay, let it flow out. Don't get in the way of what's there. Give me a writer's mission statement. A sentence or two max. Okay, you've got a minute. And anyone who's finished, type it in the chat for us. A few more seconds. Okay, so try to finish that up. You may need to work on it later a little bit. I write to feng shui my soul first, and to inspire you to be brave. I write to leave my legacy and infuse the world with what's possible for healing. That's a version of my writer's mission statement. Sandra says, I write to create sparks of awareness and aliveness in people. Sandra, you want to repeat it out loud for everyone?
Hi, everybody. I write to create sparks of awareness and aliveness in people. I write to inspire people to step out of their stuck places and into an expanded experience of themselves.
Nice. When it's out loud, it's real. That's why I encourage people to share. Sharing today is totally voluntary. If like you're a hard pass, you just say, no, thanks. I'm good. I'm not going to pressure you. Okay. But when it's out loud, it's real. What does out loud mean? On your page, you just moved it from inside to outside. Now you are the witness of your own self. You get to look at your writing and go, is that what I believe? Is that really what I want to write? Is that what I want to share? Right? Thank you, Sandra, for going first. Charlene says, I write to share my wisdom and experience with others and to remind myself of who I am. Charlene, you want to share it out loud?
Sure, and I've added to it. I write to share my wisdom and experience with others and to remind myself of who I am. I write to inspire people to practice regular meditation and go deep within.
Nice, thank you. Guy says, I write to talk with myself in a fresh language. I love that, Guy. Do you want to read it out loud? Unmute. Oh, there you go.
Sure. Yeah, my literary efforts and my visual art efforts is a language. I see it as just another language in which to express myself, to speak. And what I find with myself, being somewhat of an introvert, is that I use the writing as a way to talk to myself, with myself, not to myself, but with myself. In the writing is just a fresh language that comes back to me.
Awesome. So just read the statement out loud. That's all I wanted you to do.
Well, I don't. It's done scrolled up, but I write to speak with myself in a fresh language.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Erica, to listen to what matters within. Kristen, I write because it makes me feel. It makes me want to be me. Jill, I write to marry myself, to align the forces within, to empower myself and others. Linda, I write because I can't not. If no writing miserable, writing brings me joy. If not writing. Yeah, got it. Same. Carol, I write to heal my ancient restricted karma. Whoa. All right. I write because the light must be shared in as many ways as possible. Shri, I write because it is my most immediate connection to source, and what comes through when I connect is what the world needs to hear. Yes, with an exclamation point to that. Joy, raw, I write to those that I write to those that I've felt, that have felt like to be accepted. They have to dim their light, but no, never dim your light, and only surround yourself with those that welcome your light and inspire you to shine. Yes, yes, yes. I write to heal others through their heart. Heidi, I write to expand my energy and knowledge beyond my own challenges and thought. Yes to all of you. So if you've never even asked yourself why you do this, I would highly suggest that you create something beautiful out of your writer's mission statement and stick it on your wall or your computer, or paste it to your desk. And when you're having a bad day with your writing, come back to your why. Come back to your passion. Come back to, for me, sometimes it's a person. And I'm thinking about the love letter I'm writing to the person today and whatever it is that I'm writing. So thank you all for playing with me for that. It's really awesome to have a why, and like your business, even just for the task of writing, some days are harder than others, right? Writer's block, whatever. right, what I say whatever, because I think writer's block is really bullshit. I think writer's block is just you got in your head and you're overthinking something and you got stuck there and you forgot you have something from here down. And you need to breathe again, what you need to do. You need to come back into your body. So that's why I started that way today. Come on in with those deep pelvic bowl breaths. Remember you have feet. Come on down in that body and come back to the core place, right? And begin to clear your mind and connect there. Writer's block should vanish pretty quickly as you get better and better at that. So we're going to start with this idea of writing to feel and heal. And why? Well, I think I already explained it, but the connection is where all the good stuff comes from. It's that whole little spiel about writer's block. You just forgot to be in your body connected to the biggest source there is, that channel for you. Some of you might describe it in some way different than I'm describing it, but I think you all get what I mean. We have to remember to come back there over and over and over, right? So play with me again. You can close your eyes or not. It's up to you. I like to close my eyes and just stop the visual for a moment. Coming back into the pelvic bowl with those deep rib expanding breaths. Expand your ribs with your inhale out the front, back, and sides all at the same time. Pausing at the edge and then releasing with your exhale, and just bring yourself here into the now, into your body, deep down into your core. Maybe you have a little ache or pain today. That's okay. Breathe into those crevices, into the tight spots, gently or bigger as needed. You got nothing to do right this moment except for take another breath and notice. And what a beautiful space this can be to drop your to-do list for even the length of time of one deep breath. Take one or two more. And then open your eyes and write as fast as you can. I feel. Just go for it. What do you feel today? There are no rules to this prompt. You got about 3 minutes. Few more seconds to wrap that thought up or that last sentence. Few more seconds. Okay, first two hands up. Who'd like to read theirs? First two hands up. Yeah, oh, I saw I saw a blip. I see you, Shri. Who was the other one? I saw, oh, there you are, Jill. That's funny. Your little hand went up, but then your rectangle moved. Shri and then Jill. So you guys, when we share in Writer's Circle, I really don't want any backstory at all. I want you to read what you wrote on your paper from the first word to the last, okay? And it's the rest of our job to stay here in our breath, in our presence, and just receive, right? Hold that space for you. So Shri, you're up.
I feel calm right now. I feel hopeful on the one hand, confused on the other. I recently wrote in my morning pages about how the mind does hold opposing thoughts, emotions. It is fascinating. And right now, I feel calm, interested, hopeful, and also uneasy, worried, a tinge of sadness somewhere that is always lurking, and maybe some fear. So, which of these do I want to go down the rabbit hole with? I can choose calm and hope or worry and fear.
Thank you, Shri. And Jill, you ready?
Yes, thank you. I feel excited and nervous. Why am I here and what do I expect? I feel vulnerable to be seen and can feel me wanting to have my shit together. And yet I need help. My words need community, a place to land and to reflect back to be, so that I might send the healing through the book and out into the world and flow and glow in buzzy vibrations of love. I feel excited to be here to recognize I'm in the place of identity in my book. I am moves to I have to start. I am is the place not to anchor. I am is the place to start. I have frees up I am so that I may grow beyond.
Thank you, Jill. Erica, what is the gift of hearing these free write shares for you?
Well, like you said earlier, when it's out loud, it's real. So I think it's almost as important for the reader as it is the listener. But what I think is it lets you hear what you're writing and get unattached from it. I think that part of just letting yourself write might be one sentence, one word, and it's a jumping off place often, and it's an exploration to me that you may have written something you never thought of, or someone else, you hear it and you go, oh, I would have never thought to say that, or let myself go there, or play with that idea. So I think it's valuable to the writer as well as the listener. So both of those.
No doubt. Lisa, for you, in listening to someone share something they just wrote, didn't have time to edit, what's the gift for you?
Getting to know them. I really enjoy getting to know them and where they're at.
Awesome. For me, it is helping because I also can share imperfect. I can share authentic. I can share something I just wrote and it doesn't need to be judged. It's just the energy, right? And I love to feel not alone in that. Also, when I'm brave enough to do it, I get to move through that kind of, I call it purpose-driven fear. So like Erica, there's gifts in both directions, right? For the listeners and for the writers. All right, you ready for the next one? The next idea, the why of my writing is to inspire others. Who is a business owner here? Just keep your hand up for a minute. Do we have all business owners here? Maybe one or two who aren't? Okay. So business owners are writing to heal, but they're also writing to help express their why, their passion, and their beautiful sacred offerings in a way that other people get it. And so they understand what's in it for them. And it's, you know, it's why we're doing the business writing in this month. You guys, starting this month, we're going to have a special business writing session. I am a certified content marketer through Smart Blogger and have taken multiple copywriting courses, and I'm in love with it. And don't even get me started on the whole AI stuff. That'll be a whole nother class about what that is. But I love creating original copywriting, okay? I like it when it comes from my heart and my why and my passion, and that's how I teach it. So even if you do not have a business though, and believe me, if you have a book, you have a business. So if you have a book or are wanting to have a book and become an author, you have a business whether you think you do or not. So just remember that. If you have a blog, that's writing the line, but I think you have a business there too. You have a business of building your platform, right? So I think most all of us would agree that we're in this to inspire others no matter what we're doing with our writing, if we're sharing it, that is, right? And you've all lived a life. You've done some stuff. You've learned some lessons. How can your words help others? So many different ways they can. So for this one, I want you to just connect with a breath. Realize that you can do this thing that we took several minutes to do in one breath right now. I want you to connect with a breath and begin to think about one of the bigger lessons you've learned. And when you're ready, write one sentence about it. What's one of the bigger lessons? What comes to you when I ask you the question? Don't doubt it, just get it down. What's one of the bigger life lessons you've learned? Write a sentence about it. You have about a minute. Might be 2 sentences, who knows? No rules. And for you speed demons, if you finished, write it in the chat. Always voluntary there. All right, that was about a minute. So just try to finish up that last piece of what you were working on in that sentence. You'll probably want to come back to that, right? One of the biggest lessons you've learned. So one of the things I'm addicted to getting better at in my writing is showing the reader instead of telling them. So in the chat, those of you who have been typing your biggest lesson in, you're telling us what it is. But now you've got 5 minutes to show us via a dialogue that you're going to have with a mentor, favorite mentor, coach, or friend about the lesson. Take a breath, relax about what this is. Pick a favorite mentor, coach, or friend, and I want a dialogue to show me about the lesson. You've got 5 minutes. I know it's not enough time. Just have fun. Okay, got about 30 more seconds to kind of finish up the last sentence or thought you have going there. This dialogue is most likely not going to be finished. So why dialogue is one of my favorite ways to show a reader, for me, is because it just makes me feel like a fly on the wall. Sometimes I feel like I'm a fly on the wall in a conversation that I shouldn't be hearing, like it's a secret. And there's nothing that's going to pull your reader in more than that. Lisa, why do you use or like dialogue? Or not? Could go both ways.
I like dialogue. I like playing with dialogue. I feel like you get to, I don't know, I feel like maybe I play with perspective. Like you can like pit yourself against yourself and like create the two different characters and like explore further and deeper with something.
Awesome. I like that. I like it for that reason too. I talk to myself a lot in my dialogues. Erica, how about you? What's your comment on dialogue?
Well, I think it really addresses that idea of show, don't tell, and it emotionally pulls you in. I think it gives you someone to relate to, and often in that relating, you may think, oh, I would have said that, or I would never say that, but it moves you along in a scene so that you don't it's not boggy. I really feel like it's what keeps things moving, because we're relating to humans often more than anything else.
One of the biggest lessons I've learned in my business was from one of my very original business coaches. And the lesson was just do your beta program and get over it. Just do it, right? It was a just do it kind of lesson. Here's how I'm going to show it to you. T. And so my characters are T and L. Okay, L is me. T. Just do it. What are you waiting for? I don't know what I'm doing. What if it sucks? You'll take the feedback and then adjust. Your version 2 will be the next better version. You'll master it as you go. But one thing I know for sure is you'll never get it perfect before you take action. Oh my God, okay, I think I can do it. Of course you can. Set up your beta and go invite 12 of your peeps. Drop the price to half and include them in how you build this. Ooh, I love that. Okay, I'm doing it. And then about 4 weeks after that conversation, T, you did it. In fact, you were the only one who did it. What? No. Yep. Well, it was the best business advice I've ever had, so thank you. You are so welcome. And that's when the timer went off. So showing you the scene is vulnerable. Like I thought I was gonna F it up. I didn't want to just do this without really feeling like it was perfect first, or I even knew what I was doing with a course, right? So that was one of the biggest lessons I learned in my business, was to do it and then adjust along the way and make version 2 better, and then make version 3 even better, and then make 4 maybe the final product. But if you're like me, I think everything always evolves. So it's always going to be working toward building the feedback in with the business programs, right? So hearing the lesson in a dialogue kind of pulls you in, right? I was hoping that you were rooting for me. Right? Who wants 2 hands? Who wants to read their dialogue? First 2. Raise them up if you want to read it. Come on, you guys. Anyone? Be brave. Sandra. And then Kristen, did I see you?
I'll go if you got, or if you don't have your 2.
Okay, Sandra raised hers first. Go for it, Sandra.
When I think about speaking up and sharing with people, part of me wants to curl up in my bed and pull the covers over my head. Will people like me? I so need people to like me. And if I say what's really over here, they might judge me. I understand why you feel that way. So what do you do to get yourself out of bed and out there sharing the very real ways you help people? Well, I have to understand why I'm feeling afraid and recognize that it's not based in reality. Let the little girl self that's pulling my circuit breakers, let her know that I'm here and that I will keep her safe. How does she feel when you're there for her? She looks up and crawls out of hiding, and she lets me hold her. What becomes possible then? Adult me can look up and ahead, see places to go, possibilities to grab. I can step forward with my feet and take action.
Thank you, Sandra. Okay, Pam, you ready?
Unmuting. Okay. Yeah, it's short and sweet. I think I finally arrived, she said. With what? He asked. Where? What do you mean? Well, you know, that struggle for all those years that I've been telling you about. Yeah, and he posed. All that struggle, all that pain, I seem to finally understand where it came from and why it was there and how to let it go. That must be a relief, he said. Honestly, only sort of, she said and smiled.
Nice, Pam. Thank you. Do you all like me lean in when you're listening to dialogue? Yeah, because, right? So, like, how can I make people lean in is the question about the writing. I love that. Love it, love it. Favorite second way to gift our readers with dialogue would be inner dialogue. And so inner dialogue is thoughts in your head. It's written in italics with no quote marks, right? It's italics lines, and it's vulnerable. It is putting out there the places you are in your head when you're doing different things. And actually some of Erica's writing about her yoga teaching, she does that. I love when you do that, Erica, because she's not only being vulnerable about herself as a yoga teacher, but she's helping me feel not alone in my vulnerable self because the thoughts in my head are similar to hers. And I'm like, oh, somebody else feels that way too, right? And that's what you're doing for people. So in my world of writing, the more personal, the better. The more personal, the more universal. The more vague you are, the more I back away and don't lean in, because it's not pulling me in like it's for me, right? But the more personal you are, so inner dialogue is probably my next favorite way to show in my writing. Okay, let's do another one. This is going to be a quick explanation. The idea is being brave in your writing and hitting those vulnerable pieces. Connect with a breath and write as fast as you can. When I'm connected to my power, fill in the blank, 3 minutes. Write as fast as you can without censoring yourself. When I'm connected to my power, Okay, you've got about 30 seconds more to kind of finish up what you were doing there. So one of the things that I ask myself when I sit down to write is, how do I want the person I'm writing for, if I know that I'm going to be sharing, to feel? It's important. But the next best question is, well, how do I feel right now? Because if I'm tired or stuck or frustrated, that would not be the energy I want to infuse my writing with. So how do I want them to feel? Excited, inspired. All right, I'm going to take a minute to breathe that excitement and inspiration into myself before I sit and start to type. And that's going to change everything some days, right? So that prompt of, when I'm connected to my power, right? I would imagine that most of you would love the people you're sharing with to feel that too. So sometimes I'll use prompts like that actually just for myself. How can I get in there to that place that I want to share from? Who'd like to share their power prompt? Yay, Kristen. I saw you that time. Go for it.
Sorry, I'm not very familiar with Zoom as I should be.
You got it.
When I am connected to my power, the pieces fall into place. My shoulders unslump. My breath comes easy, not a gasp or hiccup in sight. Tears of joy instead of heartache grace my cheeks. Love warms me from the inside out. I can do and be anything and everything. I can love myself the way I deserve to be loved. Fear runs and hides from me.
Yes, nice. Right. Why wouldn't you want to be in that place every single time you write? Why? Or live? I don't know. I mean, why wouldn't we want to be there all the time, right? I love that you use ease. The first sentence of mine said, when I'm connected to my power, life feels easy. So yeah, Guy, please share.
Okay. My power is in walking through my weaknesses, my Achilles heel, fear of rejection. First, I recognize, but it most happens when I back against the wall. I most often stand stiff and whole, full of intent without backing. Since I've already backed up enough, not out of fear, but to give rope, to stay above. But when there's no choice, I stand firm and go forward.
Thank you, Guy. Beautiful. So I always love to challenge my writers. Take something that you've written today and just copy paste it into your social and see what kind of comments you get. So typically that's a challenge to my business owners, because it's like the most powerful kind of copywriting you could write, except for I think we're all sitting around thinking copywriting has to be some perfect, different, whatever you all think it needs to be. But what if it just lets you get to know me? Lisa said that earlier. What if my poem share this morning was the way you connected to me in a different way today? Like, whoa, right? Now I kind of know a little bit about her and what's up and what's inspires her writing. Can you copy paste the piece and add a note about it? Yeah, no rules. Do you want to talk about what that was and how it made you feel to share something that was unedited or came from a free write today? Yeah, please add that, right? Like, but do it and tag me. I'll come help you. I'll comment, I will support, I will engage. And that's another thing we love to do in the writers community is like, who needs share partners? Who wants to create small share circles where we are blogging and we're posting and we're sharing our offerings, and we need people to help us. And even 3 or 4 people in a writer share group can expand your algorithm on social in ways you never thought. It really only takes a few people. Do it for each other, right? And that's another reason why you're going to want to connect with each other even after this. So we have about 15 minutes left today, and I want to move through another prompt that has to do a little bit about what you're sharing in your businesses. And we're going to talk a little bit more specifically about that in just a second. We'll finish up with that last prompt. But if you don't, if you're thinking, oh, I don't really have a business right now, what I want you to think about is, what if your share changes somebody's life? I mean, it's a powerful question. And you got to step into your worthiness to ask that question and know that that's a possibility. So I want y'all to do that, whether you have a business or not, right? But I'd love to get a few announcements out of the way before we finish with that last one. So please come on into the Write Habit, which is our free writers community on Facebook. And Lisa will have some links for you so you can pop over there and join the free group. If you want to join the Writer's Circle, I'll give you the registration page. There's a whole lot of information on the page about the dates that we're meeting in this next quarter and what this is and what we're doing. And we'll drop that link for you in the notes here too, in the chat as well. And if you are ready really to bump everything up to another notch, we have a pretty amazing thing coming up. And it's not until May of 24, but the Brave Healer Writers Retreat. We're going to be meeting in New York at the Honors Haven Retreat Center, May 15 to 19. And participants, in addition to moving through the healing, writing, and business presentations, will be guiding you through, will also be claiming an author spot in one of 224 collaborations. Collaborations in my world are at about the $1,000 price point. So when you look at this retreat opportunity, I so hope that you see the no-brainer of the investment here, because it's not only the retreat, it is a whole 4-month book project and becoming a Brave Healer Productions author in addition. So there's a couple people here. Heidi, Pam, thank you. I'm super excited you're going to be joining us at the retreat. Who else am I forgetting here? Anyone coming? I know those two were on my mind. And then lastly, if you want to come network with us, I do 2 free monthly events. And the next one is tomorrow. So you can wake up and be with me again tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the Monday Morning Breakthroughs event. It's 90 minutes. We have business coaching. We have a speaker's showcase where you can sign up to read for 5 minutes. And there's usually 3, 4, 5 spots for that. It's a huge opportunity to read your writing. So all the links are coming, and I know I'm challenging you, Lisa, by blowing through all of those in 1 minute, but there they are. I'm always here for a chat too, you guys. So just reach out to me. bewarriorlove@gmail.com is my email. Just email me if you have questions about anything that I'm talking about today. So our last prompt, when you're writing to share, like you have a mission to get these brave words in front of other people. You've got the business, maybe you have a book, which means you have a business. Maybe you're just there to inspire. Maybe you want to build your platform, but you really do want to share. You want other people to read it, right? Aside from your mom and your BFF. So I want you to jot down one of the most important things you teach in your business offerings life. Give me one powerful thing you teach. What's coming to you even when I ask you that question? What's a foundational thing I'll give you a few seconds. Shouldn't take you too long. Maybe you have more than one. I get that. That's cool. You can write more than one if you have more than one. But at least one thing. Yeah, thanks for typing those, you guys. Strength, vulnerability. It can be as simple as one word. All right, so everyone should have at least one thing, one foundational thing they teach. I would say mine is probably awareness as it relates to your writing, your business, everything you do. Awareness can have lots of fun blog topics, like how to have fun with your fear, which was a whole book I wrote. Awareness can have 50 topics under it, right? How to listen to the words you're telling yourself, that's important. That's an awareness topic for sure. Synchronicity, love it. Regulate the nervous system, yes, hot topic right now, oh my goodness. Okay, so number 2 thing now. How do you want your client to feel? This is probably one word. Now, there's probably lots of things, but right now I want you to type one word into the chat. Give me some words. I want them to be inspired and excited. Settled, hope, solid, relief, confident, loved, seen, sure, accepted, calm, empowered, double empowerment. Yeah, joyous. Yes. Grateful. Yes. And I would imagine connected. Yeah, I would imagine all of you love all of these. We would like for our people to feel a combination of all these wonderful things, right? But for the purposes of this last prompt today, you've got that thing you teach. You've got how you want them to feel. Pick one, you can have some more later. And here's the one that is a little bit more difficult sometimes. What's the outcome you want them to have? Now, I'm going to give you 3 minutes for this one. So you need to think about this. Take a breath. Don't overthink it. But if you are going to share an outcome that your client, friend is having because you are teaching them this thing and you're helping them feel this feeling, be specific for me. What is in it for me, your super ideal reader or client? Give me outcome, takeaway oriented couple of sentences. Okay, you got about 3 minutes. Just play, have fun, guess if you have to. All good. And feel free to type it in the chat if you have finished already. Short, sweet, and powerful is name of the game with this. Okay, a few more seconds. So the challenge for this one is to get it in a sentence that you can use in a networking event like tomorrow, where you and I would be paired up, Miss Lisa Karasek, and I'd be like, Lisa, tell me what you do. And you could shoot it out to me in 30 seconds or less. And you could ask me and I'll say the same thing. And then I'm going to get back to Lisa and be like, Lisa, I heard, that you do trauma release exercises, and tell me a little bit more about the client that needs that. So here I am asking clarifying questions of my networking partner so I can get super clear about the introduction she needs this week. And I'm going to continue to ask her clarifying questions until I think of somebody or not. And it's okay to not to, but this is the game and it takes practice. And I want all of you to understand that your writing is, it influences and impacts people, and you're here to connect with others, right? And so a lot of the time we're so in our own worlds about what we do and all the things is we forget to ask questions of our partners and go in the other direction. And so practice, practice, practice. Shri, do you have a question, or are you just like, I want to read mine?
No, I have a question.
Okay, go for it.
I struggle with this a lot because
Of course.
if I if I say that what I'm teaching somebody is to be fully comfortable in their own skin, right? To love themselves fully, completely. And then you ask me, what is the outcome for the client? And I'm thinking, what more do you need other than that?
Say your sentence again one time, please.
So
I want you to what?
I want you to feel completely comfortable with yourself.
Okay, pause. So now, all of you who had a sentence like that, similar, later you're probably going to want to slap me because I'm going to keep saying, well, then what? So when I'm completely comfortable in myself as Laura DeFranco, the retired physical therapist, now publisher for holistic health and wellness professionals, that actually means that I can step on a stage and share my story without feeling nervous and actually land the client from it. Because I was so comfortable with myself and so powerful, standing in my power and in my worthiness, that I could land a speaking gig, feel super. So what I did for Shri just now is I gave her a very, very specific takeaway that would be a result of the thing she started with. And I will ask all of you the same thing. Now what? So what? Then what? Okay, so my sentence is, I help holistic healers become Amazon best-selling authors with a community that helps build their business and leave their legacy, right? And I've gotten that down a million times because I've practiced it. It's morphed over and over and over. I'm not afraid of changing my mind. I'm not afraid of practicing some new sentence on y'all. I offer feedback. Do I do more than that? Is that really what you want? And you have to get out to people and ask, is that the result I'm delivering? Yes, but is there something else you want that I should be talking about, right? And your partners will help you in this. So who else wants to share their sentence? Please only read your sentence, and we'll do this for another minute or two. And just really quick, I know we're at time, and if any of you have to go, totally get it. Love that you were here. Thank you. But I'll play with you guys for another minute or two, and we'll practice these. Practice. Who wants to practice? Come on, let me hear it. I'll coach you through it too. Anybody? Nobody? Okay, Heidi, go for it.
Hi. So I wrote, I want you to feel confident and capable of overcoming any challenges or barriers when connecting to yourself and your child to strengthen family bonds.
Nice. So you guys can hear that, and each of you may or may not resonate. You may or may not be Heidi's perfect ideal reader or client of the, of what she's writing about, but you might be. And if you are, you might be sitting there and thinking, oh, well, I want to know this about what she just said. You might have a specific, like, you heard it, but you need to be more clear. Heidi, will you repeat it one time?
Sure. So I want you to feel confident and capable of overcoming any challenges or barriers to connecting with yourself and your child to strengthen your family bonds.
Who has one question? One question for Heidi. Is there any clarifying question here that you need to hear? Yeah, Jill.
What do you mean by family bonds?
So strengthening family relationships due to everyday challenges, say children with special needs. I work with autism and ADHD. And so I provide effective and simple tools
So
for them
pause,
to be.
Heidi.
Go ahead.
So the question made you go off on a riff that
Right.
needed to be in the original sentence.
Okay.
And now for everybody. If the clarifying question comes in and you forgot to say what you do, like who you are behind the thing.
Yeah.
I forgot too, by the way. I am a retired holistic physical therapist and award-winning publisher. I forgot that in my sentence that I shared with you. If you don't know that Heidi has an occupational therapy background or whatever background she has, then that might be the question you have is like, but what do you mean by family bonds? Heidi, don't answer it now, but write the question down, please. So that's the clarity. So perfect, Jill, you're awesome. Thanks for asking. Because that question just helped Heidi a lot. Because now she's going to be like, oh, what do I mean by family bonds? And what kind of family bond does her specific ideal reader crave? It's specific. It's with their sister. It's with their daughter.
Yes.
It's with their mom or dad. It's with, and it has to do with something, an argument they had, a long-standing beef that they've had, a trauma they went through to get. I mean, I could go on and on about the specificity in your writing, where it needs to come to. More personal, the more universal. So in your business sharing, right? You're going to get right in there. Thank you, Heidi. All right, you guys, business writings coming up mid-August, right? You just got a taste of where I'm going to take you in a whole hour worth of a session. Probably our sessions are an hour and 15 minutes in the Writer Circle. I'm doing one of those a month, very specifically because it's my passion. This copywriting stuff is my total passion. Erica, tell them about your feedback and editing session real quick, and then we'll wrap up.
That's going to be on the 28th. And we're going to talk about editing and feedback because they kind of go together. I've been in several writing groups, and I think how we give feedback is really important, but also how you edit influences how you write. So I'm going to give you some real structure about how we can do that, how we can do it either for ourselves or in groups that we're in. So it's going to help us be more clear and also keep you connected to what you're working on, as well as the people that you're working with. So I look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks,
Is
Erica.
there a link? Is there a link to that, Laura?
Well, it's a registration for the Writer Circle because it's part of the Writer Circle membership. So we are going to have that registration link for you. Come join us, y'all, for a quarter, right? Your membership is quarterly and it's a subscription for the Writer's Circle. It doesn't mean you can't cancel whenever you want, but you get 3 months worth of sessions for that $45. So we hope you'll come join us, especially for August because of Erica's special. The business session is going to happen every single month. You have a total of 5 sessions you can come to. 2 of them are Sunday mornings, 2 of them are Monday nights. And then I've got the middle week on the Wednesday. It's a little bit varied in terms of time, but everything is on the website. So that is there for you. Lisa just dropped it. And I'm going to ask you all for one favor before we finish. If you're here or you're watching the replay, my email is bewarriorlove@gmail.com. Would you all do me the favor of spending 2 or 3 minutes and telling me what your biggest takeaway from today was by email? If you did that for me, I'd be super duper grateful. Your feedback and communication helps me so much. Erica, Lisa, and I have a big vision for the Writer's Circle moving forward. And you all are a part of it today. So super grateful that you're here. Thank you. Thanks, current members. Who's a member already? Raise your hand. We got lots of them here today. Thank you. And if you're not and you want to chat, I'm here. But I'll go ahead and finish the recording and I'll hang out here for another minute if anyone has anything they don't want recorded. If you're watching the replay, grab me at bewarriorlove@gmail.com with questions, and then hope to see all of you tomorrow at Monday Morning Breakthroughs.